Last lesson, we went through LT13a, the pre-OOP, which we use the tuple ADT. Um, and these are the codes, and then we sort of create the three person, the Mickey, Goofy, and Donald. And then if you realize that there is no data hiding, why did I say so is that after you create each of these person, all you need to do is just to print. Okay, you print the variable for the each of the person, and then all the information will just appear. Okay, in its according to the data structure. Okay, so now we want to talk about the OOP. Let's get our constructor going. Okay, so let me walk through with you. So, in order to create a person, if you refer to the test case, in order to create a person, you must have five arguments. That means you must provide five inputs. Okay, the ID, the name, the telephone number, the date of birth, and the email address. So you need to have five inputs. So in your constructor, you have the ID, name, handphone, date of birth, email, the five parameter. Okay, these are that means the in order to create a person, you need to have these five argument. Okay, and self now in OOP you will learn that you must always have this self in your list of argument. Okay, that is a must. You realize that in all the methods here, there's always a self. I won't go too deep at this point to explain why is there a need of self. Okay, but just make sure that you get used to this requirement, and then maybe next year when we carry on with OOP, I will go dive a little bit deeper to explain what is actually this self, what does it do lah. Okay, so five input argument to create a person. That's why you have that. Okay, so for each of these, so self dot ID equal to self, equal to ID, sorry. Self dot name equal to name. Self dot DOB, date of birth, equal to date of birth. Okay, self dot email dot equal to email. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, can. So every single one of these input by the user, provided by the user, they are all being so-called mapped to the self dot the respective variable. Okay, so if I want to get the ID, I just need to return the self dot ID. If I want to get the name, I just okay, and to return the date of birth, just return the self dot dob. Okay, now in if I want to change set handphone, that means I must provide a new handphone, right? Okay, so once you provide a new handphone, the self.handphone is now replaced by the new handphone. That's how you change the handphone. Originally, the old handphone was at self.hp, but now you assign a new handphone to this self.hp. That means you change the handphone already. Okay, so the original self.email is now replaced by this new email. Okay, and then who is going to provide this new email? Uh, the when you set the email, right? When you want to set the email, you must provide the new email, right? Otherwise, who knows what is the new email, right? So that's why you need to provide. Okay. So for this case about display, I'll talk about display later on. Okay. Now, so without the display, I can still create. Let me run this. So I created my class, and I create the three instances, the three objects. Okay, each one of these is a person object, person object. Okay, now, so let's say I create Mickey, right? Okay, so I try to print Mickey. Can you see the data about Mickey? You can't, right? Okay, so after creating the Mickey with all the info itself, if you try to sneak around and try to look for it, you can't. You won't be able to find. Okay, uh, unless you use like a Mickey, and then because the programmer allows you to get the name, okay, or get the handphone number, so you can use the get handphone. Okay, let's then that's how you can get the handphone. So if the programmer don't give you this get handphone, there's no way for you to get the data. So this is what we meant by data hiding. Okay, OOP is able to hide the data. So likewise for the rest, Goofy and Donald, you realize that you cannot get their data. It only points to an address where all these where the object is created at. This is just an address in some memory, in the computer memory. Okay, so that's what we mean by that. Okay, but if we want to also have this utility function, utility method, we don't call it function, we call it method. All these functions within the class itself, we call them methods. Now we want to provide this display so that it can nicely present all this information about the person. Okay, so I will put a print statement. Okay, now always remember to include some kind of label. Okay, ID. So this here I say get ID. Okay, self dot get ID. Okay, so for the rest, I want to get the name. Okay, self dot get. Next one is handphone. Okay, let's run this class. And then now I create the instance. And then if I were to display. Okay, so it presents the data, the information in a very neat manner. Cannot? Okay, so this is how you create a class, and this is how you instantiate the objects.